The moon hung like a sharp blade in the sky, cutting through the darkness over the land of Ikom. I had never been so scared before. It felt like something old and angry was watching. The air was heavy, and the distant drums sounded strange, like they weren't played by human hands. Everyone in the village knew the story of the 6 wise maidens. We heard it during festivals, but no one told us what really happened. The 6 maidens brought peace and unity to Ikom, but their story was more than just a tale. It all began when my uncle, Ikom, found a strange calabash buried in his yam farm. He brought it home, laughing and saying it was his treasure. It was small, cracked, and plain. But as soon as he entered the compound, the dog started barking. My grandmother, who rarely spoke, shouted, "Take it back. That belongs to them." Uncle Ikom refused. He said the calabash was empty and harmless. That night, our lanterns wouldn't light, and the firewood refused to burn. We sat in the dark, listening to the wind, or something that sounded like wind, whispering words we didn't understand. My cousin Coco joked that the spirits were upset because Uncle Ikom's cooking was bad. Everyone laughed nervously, but deep down, we were scared. The next morning, the village was full of whispers about strange shadows in the forest. The elders called a meeting and told the true story of the 6 maidens. A long time ago, Ikom was full of greed and war. 6 maidens were born on the same night in different villages. Each had a special gift: wisdom, courage, kindness, justice, patience, and laughter. The spirits guided them to meet in the forest, where they performed a ritual that brought peace to the land. They left behind the calabash as a seal for their unity. But they warned, if disturbed, the balance would break, and the spirits would return to protect it. When Uncle Ikom found the calabash, he broke that balance. That night, the 6 maidens appeared. Not as humans, but as shadows cast by the torches. They didn't speak, but you could feel their presence. The elders said Uncle Ikom had to return the calabash to the forest. "I'm not going alone," he said. "You have no choice," my grandmother replied, hitting him with a broom. "You started this, so you must end it." I was young and foolish, so I volunteered to go with him. Coco came too, saying he didn't want to miss out on the fun. The forest at night felt alive. The trees creaked like they were talking, and the path seemed endless. Coco kept joking to make us feel better. "Maybe the maidens just want some palm wine," he said. No one laughed. Not even him. After a while, we reached the heart of the forest and saw a giant iroko tree. Its roots looked like they were alive, pulsing like veins. Uncle Ikom placed the calabash at the base of the tree and mumbled an apology. At first, nothing happened. Then, shadows of the 6 maidens emerged from the roots. One had eyes like burning coals. Another's hands dripped water that sizzled when it hit the ground. They didn't look angry, but their silence was heavy. "What do we do?" I whispered. "Run," Coco said, his eyes wide. Before we could move, the maiden with burning eyes stepped forward. She raised her hand, and the calabash began to glow. A voice filled the air: "The balance must be restored." Uncle Ikom dropped to his knees, begging for forgiveness. The maidens didn't speak again. The calabash sank into the ground, covered by the tree's roots. Then the maidens disappeared as quickly as they had come. We ran back to the village and didn't stop until we were home. Uncle Ikom never spoke of the calabash again, and Coco stopped joking about spirits. As for me, I learned an important lesson: some stories are true, and some things are better left alone.